No, stay with me. I'm scared. Oh, shoot. I'm up here. Am I up here, y'all? Uh-oh. 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 I think I'm up here, Shayna. Ooh. It's so lonely. I can't hear them. I can just read it. Oh, good. How do I make someone a moderator? Can you hear me, Shayna?
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. My friend Denise is going to come in and be my moderator. Hi, everybody. What's up? What's up? Oh, look at all these people. Thank you. So I have to tell y'all that I had on orange. And we've been trying to do this since 2 o'clock. And I got so frustrated that I went and meditated and put on white because I was about to lay down and take a nap. I was so mad. But we're up here. We're up here. Gosh, the comments are coming so fast, I can't even catch them. Look at all these comments. What is happening right now? This is my first time going live on YouTube. I didn't even know you could go live on YouTube until yesterday. So learning. Dang, I wish I could read these comments. So, oh, here we go. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Oh, I see y'all. I see y'all. Hey, Donald. I see y'all. Hey, so here. Okay. So are you going to tell me how to do this moderator thing? We might not be able to do this because we just barely got on live. Woo. Oh, let me see what Denise is saying. She said, if you go on your phone or iPad, I didn't want to hear the word iPad for the rest of the day, you can hold the screen down to pause the comments. Oh, yes. Also, you got to make me a moderator. We're trying to figure out the moderator, Denise. I had to use my laptop, which is a whole nother conversation. But we up in here. This is exciting. Boy. Shayna, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, hey, y'all. It's interesting. I just realized that it took me so long to figure out how to get up on this live that I hadn't really thought about what I was going to say. But I do have some stuff that I want to tell you, and I'm going to go in and answer some of your questions and to respond to some of your thoughts about welcome home. So what I want to tell you about this video is, oh shoot, hold on, I got to make sure my mom's on. Hold on. Hold on, Shane, I'm going to text my mom. Oh, Shane, I'm going to hang up real quick. Let me call my mom. Okay. I forgot to make sure she was on. Hold on. Who's trying to get on me? Okay, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me call my mom. Hope she answers. Wow, look at all these. Oh, this is beautiful. Let's see if she answers. Hello, Mother. Don't say anything.
Okay.
I'm live on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you go on go onto my YouTube page, I think you'll be able to see me sitting right here. It took me since 2 o'clock to figure it out, and I just got on here.
Oh.
So go on there. Text me back if you can't find it. Okay.
It's on YouTube, but under your name.
I think so. Okay. If you can't figure it out, I'll have Shayna or Denise call you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Oh, are you the moderator now, Denise? Okay. Okay. So Denise, I might need you to call my mom if she can't figure out how to get on. We'll see. All right. I think so. Let me give my mom a second. I got to tell my friend Larnay. Okay. And let me tell Mustafa just in case he's not here. Okay. Okay. Look at these comments. Okay. I'm just trying to calm down now that we're finally up here. Hi, y'all. Thank you. I wish that we could do screen share, but they don't have that on YouTube just yet. But I'm also going to go live on Instagram soon so we can share screen. But since you are the first 4,000 people to see the video, this short film, I wanted to tell you some of my thoughts and to talk to you and hear some of your thoughts. So here's what I want to say about this short film. First of all, I just want to give you a little bit of back information. This is some music industry stuff, but I have to say it. The company that I work with, BMG, I hope somebody from BMG is on here. I love them. I've been in the music industry for 20 years, and for 17 of those years, I was with Motown, and it was not my favorite. I was treated well maybe the first 2 years, and then after that, I was obligated to stay, and I didn't feel like I was treated well. And so now I'm with a company that treats me well, and I love working with BMG, and this is why BMG matters, because we all picked Crazy as the single for 2020, and I have a special love for the song Sacred Space. I noticed that when touring back in 2019 that most audiences, all of my really spiritual friends, all of my really close friends who are also musicians, they all also had a love for Sacred Space, and me too. And so BMG gave me one budget, and I made 2 videos for one budget. I was not thinking of it as a short film project until I realized I was going to be making 2 videos back to back, like we did it Friday and Saturday or whatever days it was. So it was back to back. I've never done anything like that. And so I thought that I would take it as an opportunity to interconnect these projects. And, you know, it was challenging, but we figured it out. And then today is an extra special day for me because I've never had such a hands-on approach to any music video I've ever done. And so what I mean by that is we did the video out in LA, end of February. We did it the day after the Grammys and then the next day. And so at the end of, I'm looking at your comments too. And so at the end of February, at the end of January, I left LA. I went up to Seattle real quick to visit my 92-year-old friend. And then I went to Seattle for one day, and then I came home and I was waiting for the video. And that unbeknownst to me, the director was having technical issues with the footage. And so I didn't see anything for like 20 days. That's a long time. Music videos don't take that long. You should have something in a week. And so 3 weeks go by. I don't have anything yet. And then she does finally send the first edit, and it just doesn't look anything like what I envisioned. And so I had some of my personal money invested, but also the way that record labels, I'm not with a conventional label, but the way that it works still is you are responsible for the money on the back end. So it's recoupable. And so this is my money. And not only that, but this is my music, and these songs are special to me. And I'm excited that I'm getting a chance to even make a 3rd video, because that's not how things have been for me in the past off of a project that I put out. And so I took over, and we went on screen sharing and edited the video. And we got about 10 seconds of editing every 10 or 12 hours. So you do the math. It took a long, long time. And that was just for Crazy. And then we finally got into Sacred Space, and that was a whole other issue. I learned all about special effects and effects on skin. I learned so much about editing, and oh gosh, I learned so much stuff that I didn't know, because I had to learn it, because the music matters to me, because my money that I had invested in this matters to me, and because these songs in particular matter to me. And so today is an extra celebratory day because literally these videos took from, we started talking about them in the middle of December. We filmed them at the end of January. And so right now it's May 11th. So for the last 3 months, I've been single-mindedly focused on editing and completing these videos because, I said all the becauses, but what I also want to add is that it was important to me that the brown skin in these videos looked like the most beautiful sunrise, like just the most beautiful thing you ever saw. I wanted these brown skin in these videos to be melanin popping. And I had to work a lot with the After Effects to do that, but we did it. And so the fact that I'm even talking to anybody about this short film now is absolutely crazy to me. I did not think it was going to be in May. I did not think it was going to turn into this short film project, but inside of the editing, which is in hindsight, I guess today now I can say it was a blessing. I learned a lot, but it was one of the most stressful projects I've ever done. And that's saying a lot because I've done a lot of stressful stuff. The music industry is kind of like that, or it has been for me. But being hands-on with the editing allowed me to create this long narrative. And I love it. And I'm very proud of it. And it's hands down, of course, the best music video I've ever done. But also, I think it is one of the best creative things I've ever done. And by best, I mean most closely captured my vision. I was a little bit nervous about putting a narrative on the song Sacred Space because for me, that song is just, it's not about a physical thing. But I hope that I was able to capture the spiritual energy of that song, even while having a narrative with a man in it. Mustafa, I hope you're here. And what else do I have to say about it? That's the backstory. And so now I want to talk to you about these videos and what they mean. Did somebody say it messed you up? What did you say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear y'all. Oh, somebody said the ending messed me up. So let's talk about this. So, how do I say this? This short film is about the complexities of romantic relationships. In one of my earlier Instagram posts, I said it's about the complications, and that wasn't the right word. The right word is complexity. This short film is about the complexities of romantic relationships. And I guess for some people it's easy. I don't know anyone who's had an easy time with their romantic relationships. I certainly have not. And so one of the things I wanted to do with this narrative was to start, I'm laughing thinking about just 2017, 2018 alone. It's been a charismatic, dynamic journey, not an easy one. But that's why I wanted to start this part of the story with the wedding, because all adults know a marriage doesn't end with the wedding, it begins with the wedding. And so here's what I want to say. My creative partner, Anasa Troutman. Anasa, I hope you're on here. When we started making videos for the album Worthy, Anasa had this wonderful idea to make a 4-story arc. And so we started with that magic where you see these two people meet. And so Lyric Bent was obviously the love interest in that video. And you also see a cameo from Gramps Morgan, who is, to me, one of the best singers in the world, just technically speaking. He is my taste as well, but just technically speaking, he's one of the best singers in the world. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, that's Gramps Morgan of Morgan Heritage. You could write it down and check it out. His voice is insane. So Gramps and Lyric are in this video. So you see Lyric and India meet in this video. And you see them falling in love. And then the second installment of this story is Steady Love. And you see a couple living together in a home, fighting and making up. And then obviously you see them get engaged at the end. David Banner, as whoever's seen the video will know, was the male lead in the Steady Love video. He was the male lead there. And I was happy about it. I loved working with him. I loved how the video turned out and how we looked together on screen. But also, um, I wanted Lyric Bent to do all the videos so that we could really have like a continual narrative, but he's a superstar. And so he was on set in Canada and couldn't make it. And so you see the couple meet in the first video. The second video was a continuation of the narrative, even though it's a different lead. And we're together, loving each other, fighting, making up, getting engaged, get pregnant. And yeah, I see everybody saying we look good together. It surprised me too. I chose David Banner because I wanted someone who looked like a man. I didn't want like a skinny model, or, I just wanted someone who looked like a man. And my stylist, Jolene Coggins, she just brought his name up, and we were like, that would be dope because like all the gray hair and stuff. It's nice. It's a good look. But I hadn't considered what we would look like together on camera. I don't make movies. I make music, and we get to make music videos every once in a while. So I don't think about screen tests and stuff like that. But by the grace of God, we looked amazing together on screen. And so fast forward, when Steady Love came out, and I went and toured the whole year of 2019 from April to December. I toured. And so the Steady Love got a lot of time to be out in the air. And then it was time to make the Crazy video. And like I just told you, I found a way to fit Sacred Space into that budget. And now we're at the third and fourth installments of this story, right? And so this is the part of the story where, like I said in the beginning of the video, we get married. And then we go on to show what it's like for us to have a life together. And it was important for me, because it's what's real to me, that this is about the complexities of relationship. And so what you see, a lot of this is open for interpretation, and that's what I want to get to, because I want to see how you guys perceived a lot of these things. I'm really interested in how you perceived a lot of the symbolism and stuff. But what my intention, a lot of it for me was not intentional. I made it open on purpose. One part that was intentional is what you see in the hammock when Lyric and I fall asleep is we actually have that dream together. So I'm not just dreaming about another place or another man or another time. We go into this dream together, but the viewer doesn't realize that until you see Lyric come in and take me out of the dream. Y'all with me on this? Y'all with me on this? So the part that is most up for interpretation is Sacred Space. And that's why it looks that way, because I wanted it to look like we're in a dream or in another alternate reality of some sort. And so it has that fuzzy look with all the light and all the shininess coming off the skin. And I think there's a lot of ways that you can interpret who Mustafa is, because he looks like he could be a spirit guide or someone from my past or someone who's there to heal me or someone who I had to say hello to or goodbye to or anything like that. But I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to read some of these comments in a second, but I wanted to just say all of this to you. And so these were my intentions. This is how I got here. And this is why I'm so happy. Because when I signed on to this live, because I've been it took us 3 hours to figure everything out. I had to download Google Chrome and blah, 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 all this stuff. But now I'm sitting here again in a good mood because I get to talk about my short film. And I cannot believe it's even out. I can't believe it took till May, but we're here and I'm talking to y'all about it. And this is crazy. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. Okay, so I want to read some of these comments. I wish I had somebody here to read some of these comments to me. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get Denise to help me. Oh, my mom is on. Hi, Mom. It's good to know. My stylist just called. My stylist just texted me to let me know that a piece of my head wrap is hanging down. Yeah, it's like that on purpose, Jolene. Well, it's not on purpose, but it stayed down and I left it because I thought it looked cute. Hold on. Let me see. Denise, I'm going to call you. Let me see if I can I want to contact somebody to help me manage some of these comments because I just didn't know what to expect. Hold on, y'all. Hi, Anasa. Ooh, Anasa, can you help me manage the comments? I look so cute. Thank you. Hold on. Okay, I have now all 5 of my favorite girlfriends on here. I want to call you so you can read some of the comments to me so I can answer some because they go by so fast. Can I call you, Anasa? Hold on, I'm calling. Let's see how this goes. I mean, I just figured you could say no when I called you. So what we doing? You're on here though while you're talking smart. Are you sure? Because I could call Denise too. I think she said she's available.
No.
All right.
It's all good.
All right.
I'll move my computer because you're like a little lag. Okay, so here we go. This is going so slow. Here. The tone was so warm and smooth that made me feel loved and safe. So proud of you, Here, she said, this is from LaDonna Spellman. I love the message of love in both crazy and sacred space. Sacred space tells a story how a representation of God is your sacred space. And then you are reunited with your soulmate at the end, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yolanda said,
I have to answer that for a second. What was that person's name?
Her name is, I don't know, child. I didn't roll past it.
So I wanted to talk about the ending.
LaDonna Spellman.
So this is a question from, this is an answer to a comment from LaDonna Spellman. Hi, LaDonna Spellman. So what I have learned in my personal life is that in the end, every relationship you have is really about things that you're here to learn about yourself. And how better can I say that? It's never really about the other person. You learn things about the people you're in relationship with, but those are things that you are learning. And so in the end, you're learning about yourself and you're having your own journey. And so the woman in this video, which is why we called it Welcome Home, because what she learns is that no matter who's in her life, that her main relationship is with herself. And so at the end, Reverend Michael Beckwith says, welcome home, and from here you shall not move. And that's why I wanted the narrative of the video of this whole arc, starting with that magic to steady love, crazy, and sacred space. That's why I wanted it to end that way, because that's what I've learned, that in the end, it's really about things that you're here to learn about you. So yeah.
That's what Jennifer Carlake said. She said the end of sacred space feels like you are coming into alignment with your soul.
Yes. The end of sacred space is about coming into alignment with you.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're in, I'm talking like we all have the same experiences. Anytime I've been in a romantic relationship, and I can speak for my close female friends as well, some of my male friends too, but mostly my female friends, anytime we've been in romantic relationships, it's almost like you forget about parts of yourself. And there are parts of yourself that you need to remember. And so what I am looking forward to is having a relationship where my main relationship is with me, and then I have a relationship with whoever this next lucky person that's coming into my life will be. And so, yeah, it's about coming into alignment with you and remembering who you are. And I was going to say not changing for anyone, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is being authentic, because it's very easy to forget who you are for the sake of harmony. And so sometimes you have to fight, and sometimes you have to walk away, and sometimes the answer is no. And so I'm learning that lesson. And to me, the end of this video represents all of that. And it's the woman who's coming to alignment with herself. So yeah, what else y'all got? Hi, Christy Daggett. My friend from Seattle.
deal with portraying how do you deal with portraying a life in your music videos that you don't live but want to one day, including marriage, pregnancy, etc.?
I mean, I see. Well, let's talk about the difference between. I'm sorry. I don't think I've realized that they can't hear you. Tell me her name again.
Ashley.
So Ashley asked how I deal with portraying a life I don't live in my videos, including marriage, pregnancy, etc. That was your question, Ashley. And what I want to say is that for me, there's a difference in my songwriting and in my music video making thing. I haven't made a lot of videos. To have been around for 20 years, I have very few videos. But for me, the visuals are more symbolic than the songs. My songs are always true. I don't always tell everything. So for example, with the song Crazy, I wrote it when I felt that way about a person, but I have yet to write the song about breaking up with that person. So, you don't always know my whole journey, but the songs are always true. With the videos, I feel like it's more symbolic because what I want to do is be able to speak to the journey that a lot of us are on. And we're meeting people and we're trying to build relationships. And the director, in fact, who I haven't shouted out, her name is Nandy McLean. She directed Steady Love and Crazy Sacred Space. We co-directed them. And she herself was the one who was looking at being ready to have a child. And so that is why it ended up being a part of our treatment. But also, I do have my own conversations about having children, when and if. And so it's not always as direct. It's not like there's a man in my life and I hold up a pregnancy test like we do in the video. But I definitely have had my journey with that whole conversation, and I have been making decisions and not making decisions and on the journey to decide what I want to do about parenthood. So it's not exactly my life, but it is my journey, and I have been engaged. So I never got married, but I have been engaged, and I have been in a few relationships where we were actively talking about being married. So it's not all far-fetched. I'm on a journey of a woman like a lot of people on this chat are. And so it's not that I'm portraying a life I don't live. It's that some of it is symbolic and not as direct, and some of it is. So hope that was a good answer.
Yeah, there is a bunch of questions on here about the ribbon, about the blue ribbon. One person.
I'm clapping because Anasa is telling me that there are a bunch of questions here in the chat about the blue ribbon, and I'm happy to talk about it.
So most of them are just like, what's the significance? So one woman said that she thought that it was a gender reveal and that you were hinting that you were pregnant with a baby.
Ooh. All right, let me tell the audience. Hold on. So hold on, Anasa. Hold on. So, because they can't hear you, so I want to make sure. So Anasa is telling me that one person commented that they thought the ribbon was about a gender reveal. I hadn't considered that was a way that could be read, but I love that. That's why I'm clapping. I love the idea that someone would look at that way. What else, Anasa?
Yeah. So the other question about it was Andiana. That's not how you said it. I just totally messed her name up. But she just asked me what the significance of the ribbon is, and she said it wasn't a reminder of marriage or the unity itself, and then when she saw it, she cried. It really touched her.
So the significance of the ribbon. Again, I want to hear some of your thoughts because a lot of this is still symbolic and open for interpretation by design, which is why I was excited to do this live chat. I don't do live chats and things like this. And so, but I'm so excited to talk about it. And that's why I'm here. There are some significance that nobody would ever get unless you were a super, super fan of mine. And then also there's a couple things here. So in the song Crazy, I actually sing a line from Stevie Wonder's song, Ribbon in the Sky. And it's funny, I was just asking myself, am I about to sing right now? So I say, this is not a coincidence and far more than a lucky chance, but what it is was always meant. Why did I start so high? There's a ribbon in the sky for our love. And so if you really, really, really are like one of the people who really follow my body of work, you know that every album of mine has a Stevie Wonder reference. Either in the song lyrics. My second album is called Voyage to India, which is the title of a Stevie Wonder song. And so the ribbon on one level is a nod to Stevie Wonder. He's my musical hero. And I have a passion for always remembering him and giving him his flowers. So on my first album, I wrote a song called Wonderful because I want to. I want to honor him. It's what I want to do. So that's part of what the ribbon means. A second part of what the ribbon means is someone else who was in my life that I loved and adored. We met back in 1996. I took a Greyhound bus from Atlanta to Nashville in 1996, and I started writing songs with my friend Blue Miller. And if you've seen me in concert, he was the older white guy with the full beard. He had rocker hair on a guitar. And we wrote many, many of my songs together. Ready for Love, Come Back to the Middle, Headed in the Right Direction, Always in My Head, many songs we wrote together. And then he came and toured with me, which was a blessing because I never said this before. I thought he was too good to tour with me. I was like, why would Blue Miller come on tour? But he toured with me for many years, probably about 15 years. And he passed away in August of 2018. And so the blue ribbon is for Blue.
So many people on here are like giving Blue so much love right now.
Are they? Let me see. Oh, man. Oh, look at all these blue hearts. Yes, thank y'all for that. I literally think about Blue every day. And I never considered that he just wouldn't be here because he was always so consistent, always on time, always consistent mood, always ready to play, always smiling, always hugging me, always like he was really consistent. And so the fact that he's not here is a lot for me. I think about him every day. And so that's what the blue ribbon means. I hadn't considered it a gender reveal, but I like that.
Other people said it on here too. Two more people said, oh, that was about a baby.
Ooh, well, let's let it be about a baby boy. That's cute. I love it. I hadn't considered that. Up to today, look at these blue hearts and the butterflies. Thank y'all for this.
There's a bunch of people on your India who are not part of your text platform, so they did not see the video yet.
Ooh.
So I think this would be a great time for you to invite folks onto your platform, let them know they can get the video today if they text you.
Okay, so you guys see, I don't know if you guys can hear Anasa, but I'm kind of.
They can hear me.
They can hear you? Oh, okay, good. That's even easier. Let me turn you up a little bit. So I have a new text community. And so everyone who's here that's seen this video, this short film, Welcome Home, everyone here who's seen it, most saw it because I sent the link out to the text community. And so you can join my text community and be able to see the video. I'm going to tell you the number right now. The number is 206. Yes, the Seattle number, because that's my town. 206-202-4128. 206-202-4128. So if you text me there, if you weren't able to write that down, you can also find the number on my main page at the top on my Instagram page. Matter of fact, here, this is my page. This is the text button. Let's see if we can make this work. See the text button right there? Boom. So if you click there, that's where you'll see the way to text me. Y'all see that? So click that, you'll get an automated response only one time, and then everything else that I send is me. So everybody who's in my text community who's been asking if it's really me, the only thing you got automated was that first response. Everything else has been from me. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it exactly. I don't want to send you guys things that you don't care about, and I'm still learning, but I really like it. And so if you follow me here on my community, I'm going to send out one more batch of links for this video, and then everyone else will have to wait until official release tomorrow. So text me there, and I'm going to send out the video to all the new followers when we're done with this chat. What else, Anasa? What else y'all got?
Robin is asking about where you got the inspiration for the Sacred Space lyrics, and she says the first time she heard it, she cried, and she's asking. She said the song lyrics came straight from her journal. So she's like, "Where'd you get that from? How'd you read my mind? How'd you read my heart?"
Thank you, Robin. So I'm just making double sure that all y'all can hear Anasa.
They can hear me.
Okay. And so the question from Robin was, where did the lyrics for Sacred Space come from? I wrote Sacred Space with my friend Shannon Sanders, who I've written most of my songs with at this point. Shout out to Shannon. Wrote it together in 2015. And oh good, I see y'all can hear Anasa. This is great. This is working out great. Anasa, thank you for doing this.
I got you, girl.
So Shannon and I wrote the song together in 2016. I was living in New York in a small apartment with an amazing view of the west. What do they call that? The Hudson, the west side, so the Hudson. And I would see the sunset every day. Sometimes I could see the full moon. And there was something about the juxtaposition of the hecticness of being out in New York and the sacredness and the quietness of being in my sacred space. And so that's part of where the song came from. The other part, songs also the meaning continues to evolve over time for me. And the song also started to be about some of the most sacred places I've been in my travels. Especially now, it's so funny that we got this far in the chat and nobody's mentioned the word quarantine. During this quarantine, COVID-19 thing, I am a person who likes to spend a lot of time alone, and I love to be still, and I love to be quiet, and I love to focus on things. Like, I love that. And so for a long time during this quarantine, I was like, this is all right with me, because also I toured so much in 2019 that I was ready to sit down. And so it was all right with me. And then also gave me time to finish the video, to just stay in the house, to finish these videos and turn it into this short film. And then I would say maybe about 2 weeks ago, I started really missing the ability to travel. Because I cannot overstate to you how stressful it was getting this short film completed. Editing is very detailed and it takes a lot of mental energy. And it was kind of just popped on me. So it wasn't anything I was ready for, just popped up. And what I normally would have done is be like, okay, I just accomplished something great. I'm gonna go. Thank you for sharing that text number. Thank you so much. So normally I would say, I just accomplished something great and something big, and I'm gonna go to the beach. Not any beach, but a chosen beach. I might go to Bali. Anasa got clicked off. Hi, are you back? You back?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I have a Seattle number is because I love the Pacific Northwest and I go there a lot. Anybody in my life knows, they'll be like, you going back out? Yes, I'm going back out. But I love being by the water. And that's what I would have done after all the stress of this project. But I couldn't go. I mean, I could, but it's not smart to go. And so sacred space for me also is by the water. It's the deep in the nature of Hawaii. It's, and the third thing that sacred space means to me is also about my spiritual life. Because what's, for me, and this is the third thing I'm saying, but it's really number one. For me, a sacred space is the place in your heart that you go to that cannot be disturbed. Or how do I say that? Or that you go to calm your disturbances. So some of you who are on this chat right at the beginning, you saw my comment. And what I said was, we've been trying to get on here because I didn't even know there was a such thing as live chat on YouTube. So we've been trying to get on here for a long time. It took us 3 hours. I had to download stuff and click stuff. And we tried the phone, the iPad, the laptop. Then the laptop died and the thing fell over. Like, it was just all this stuff. And so I had on orange. I had on an orange dress and an orange wrap. And I got so frustrated that I went and did a meditation, sacred space. And I put on white, sacred space. And I definitely felt a lot better. I told my web lady, if it does not work this time, I'm taking all these clothes off and I'm taking a nap. Sacred space. But it worked, so we're here. And then also, I wasn't thinking about this, but it came up during tour. On stage, I don't like touring. I'm not even gonna mince words, I don't like it. But I love performing. And on stage, when I'm just free and singing the songs with the fellowship of an audience and we're all together and the music is so high vibrational and we have a screen that has all these intentional images and quotes and the lights, and for me that also is a sacred space. I love being in that space. This is one of the times in my life where I don't think about anything else. I'm just all me right there in the moment. I get that from prayer and meditation too. And also I always keep a sacred space in any place that I live. For most of the time that I've been a public person, I had a big, big house, like a really big house out in the country of suburb of Atlanta. And in that house, I had a prayer room that I called it my prayer room, but it is a sacred space if we're talking about a physical space. But it was easy to do when you have a house that's like 6,000 square feet or whatever it was. Those of you who know about Atlanta, you know houses are very inexpensive. So I had a 6,000 square foot house and I loved it. It was my favorite place to be. It was my sacred space. And inside of that, I had a prayer room. Now I live in a small condo. I think it's about 950 square feet. And one of the bedrooms is my prayer room. It's my sacred space. And I think at some point during this sharing, this next week or two, about talking about crazy and sacred space, this movie Welcome Home, I'm going to share some glimpses into my sacred space, my physical sacred space. I'm pointing this way because it's right behind this wall. And also a lot of my wellness practices, which is also a thing that I don't think anybody's asked about in this chat. Has anybody asked about the wellness practices in these videos, Anasa?
They sure have. That was where we're going to go next. Someone said you shared a lot of meditation and yoga. Can you talk about why you chose to share that side of yourself? And is this a part of the relationship that you nurture with yourself?
Is this a part of the relationship I nurture with myself? So is this a part of the way I nurture myself, she's asking? Well, it's so funny. I feel like I just need to say this one more time before I answer this question. So for me, sacred space is about the difference between the outside world and the inside world. Sacred space is about the place I go to when I'm performing and being in that most sacred space for me. Sacred space is also a physical space that I always have everywhere I go. Even when I travel on tour, I just take one little table and put all the things that are special to me on that table. I always have it. And sacred space also is about the beautiful places on earth that I've been. Because even in the craziest times, it's a privilege to be alive. And so the earth there's so much to be discovered. And now that we can't travel as freely, I'm remembering how much I really love being out in the earth. And so about the wellness practices that you see displayed in this video, that was one of the first things we talked about. I keep saying video. About the wellness practices displayed in this short film, Welcome Home. Well, that was one of the first things we talked about when we were creating the treatments, because I felt ready to put that part of myself on camera, because it's such a big part of my life that it was like, well, if we want to make something that's really, really you, why don't you do some yoga and some meditation? And so we did. When Reverend Michael Beckwith came to set, I told him we were going to be doing yoga. And he said, are you going to be actually doing actual yoga asanas? And I was like, yeah, we're going to do yoga on camera. So also for me, that is how I manage my self. Let me explain. for me, being I don't even like calling myself a celebrity, but being a celebrity and being like becoming a public person so young, I had no training or understanding about best practices of how to be a public person, how to deal with all the travel, how to deal with what it meant to be um, a public person who was traveling and dealing with fatigue, and then having my own life that I'm struggling with, and then trying to show up for people and be perky and all that stuff. I just recently stopped trying to be perky. Like, 'cause it never worked anyway. I'm not like that. And so I finally just stopped and just decided just to show up how I show up. But the way that I've learned, it was about 10 years ago, the first time I thought I was going to retire. I've had another time since then. But the first time I thought I was going to retire, I started looking at the question that I started asking myself was, once I realized I didn't just want to quit making music, then I started asking myself, okay, well, how do I manage myself? How do I manage my sensitivities? How do I manage all this empathic nature? Because I learned over the last 10 years that I absorb the energies around me. It's just how I'm wired. I get more tired more quickly than a lot of the people I know. Like, I'll just be laid out after a night of an award show or something, and while other people are going to breakfast. And I used to ask myself, how are they doing this? And so, but everybody's different. I'm a true introvert. And by introvert, I mean a person who recharges by spending time alone. A lot of people recharge by spending time with other people. I naturally, it's not by choice, by nature, I recharge by being alone. And so my introverted nature, my empathic nature, and then also being a public person, the way that I manage all of that is through my prayer practice and my meditation practice. And I do yoga, but if someone were going to ask me, I would say I really am a meditator. And so, but I also remember being on tour in 2006 with Testimony Volume 1 and my album Testimony Volume 1. And I came home from the tour. I was super stressed out. My voice was gone. And I sat on the floor and rolled through the balls of my feet. It's where you put your feet on the floor this way, like that bending. And I broke out sobbing. So obviously there was stuff trapped in my body that wanted to come out. And so over the years, my practice has grown. And actually, this video made me want to grow my practice even further. But I am a meditator. I am a meditator. And I would almost call it a life hack, because there's so many times when I'm out on the road and I just think, I cannot do this one more day. I'm going to leave all this stuff and go home. And then I go somewhere to a quiet corner and meditate just for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And I come out like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, all right. We got this every time. And so my friend Anasa, who's moderating here on the phone down here, when I first showed her the first footage of Crazy, she said, that's like you sitting right there. Like, that looks like your prayer room. That looks like the clothes you wear at home. That's you. This is you. And so I wasn't thinking of it that way, but it was exciting to realize that just by making the choices to do what I really love to do on camera, that it came off like me. Like, there's now an audience of people who get to see a representation of how I live, how I really live. Because the meditation I did before I came on here was my second one today. I woke up with the sunrise today, which is something I never did before this quarantine. People who know me know I'm like, well, I'm not getting up. Don't call me till 11 because I'll be up, but I'm not talking. But I've been waking up with the sunrise and watching it actually rise. I did my first meditation at about 6 a.m. I did my second one before I got on here. So I just saw somebody say something about Libra. Let me see who said Libra. Yes, I'm a Libra, if anybody was asking. Anybody who loves astrology, we should have a chat about that. And in fact, I don't know, maybe I won't tell Mustafa's business, but Mustafa's he has a lot of knowledge. Mustafa is the male lead from Sacred Space. He has a lot of knowledge about astrology. It was a nice surprise to have someone to talk to about those things. So yeah, my prayer and meditation practice are what I do. In fact, this is kind of silly, but kind of true. I have said to people on occasion, like, they will be like, so you're a professional singer, da, da, da. And I say, no. I sing because it's what I love to do. What I do for my profession is travel, pray, meditate, and wear white. Everything else I do because it's what I love. The other things I do because it's my sanity, my passion, and my survival. So this is my answer. What else y'all got?
So there's a lot of people on here like doubling down on the sacred space of it all.
Mm. So sacred space is rising to the top as the favorite in us?
Well, folks are just excited about talking about your sacred space, and Catrice saying that she put her sacred space in her prayer closet, and she has lyrics from your songs up on the wall of her prayer closet. I really love that.
Thank you.
And Lisa Harper is saying that she loves hearing you talk about your wellness practices, and she wants to learn more on how she can incorporate them into her life. So I thought it would be great for you to talk about kind of the plans over the next couple of weeks for you to share more about all your wellness practices and the wellness conference and all that stuff.
Yes, so we have some things in the works. I have to tell y'all this because since we're talking, I'm just being real. At the start of the quarantine, when everybody was going live all the time, I didn't, and this is my first time going live. I didn't realize that. This is my first time going live during this whole quarantine because I was naturally in a rest phase. And so going live didn't feel anything like authentic to me or just didn't feel aligned at all. So I didn't do it. And now that I'm ready to come out and be with everyone more in this social media space, one of the things that's important to me where I am in my life is to be more me. Being a celebrity at a young age really messes with your head because you're literally taught that you can't have a hair out of place. Literally can't have a hair out of place. And so when you are so young and that's so ingrained in you, it becomes like you create a public persona. And when you're very young, you can mistake your public persona for who you are. And I've had some of that. I mean, we also have a public and private face. I'm not saying that I'm not going to roll out of bed and get up here looking crazy. I still got dressed. But also there's a place where I'm being what someone thinks India Ari is, and when I'm being India Ari, which is my birth name, just in case anybody didn't know. My name is India Ari Simpson. And so while there was people around me for a long time who were like manipulating me and coercing me into things, and I was pushed into being this image, I was always pushing back. And now where I am in my life, I'm just like, I'm about to just be me. And so to answer the conversation about the wellness practices and sharing, now that I'm ready to come back and be out with everybody on social media, the only thing I want to do is share the things that really matter to me. Is all I want to do. And you're going to see this dress a lot because I wear it around the house a lot, and I don't have to wear something different every time. This is a different world right now, right? So as a celebrity, you're supposed to not be seen in the same thing twice. That's why my mother has always made me so many clothes because we always needed something new. But right now where I am, and I'm home like everyone else, most everyone, except for our frontline heroes. I'm home and I'm relaxed and all I care about is sharing the things that matter to me. And so my friend who's down here on the phone moderating, Anasa Troutman, is helping me to align with some wellness communities. So we're going to be doing, what do we call that, Anasa? A panel?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing
a whole conference, a series of conversations over a week.
So she said it. There's a series of conversations over a week, a wellness conference called The Wellness of We.
May 25th, 31st.
May 25th through the 31st. I didn't know the dates till just now. May 25th through the 31st is the 5-day wellness conference called The Wellness of We. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to be involved and what I'm going to be doing, but I will be there talking about my spiritual and wellness practices because it's all I really like to talk about. Also, I'm going to be just going live here and there to share some of my wellness practices because I realize that a lot of it is normal to me, like regular, but it's new to a lot of other people. And so I just want to share. And the wonderful thing that's come out of having such a stressful career life these last 20 years, and it's been stressful, it's been a lot. But the wonderful thing that's come out of it is that I've learned a lot about how to take care of myself. And so I have a lot of things, essential oils, meditations. Oh, I forgot to mention that we recorded a few meditations. So at some point I'll put them up. I don't know when or how exactly. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to build up the nerve to actually just go live and go, let's meditate. But does anybody want to just sit with me like this on YouTube
A
Live?
lot of people have already asked for that. A lot of people want to do that.
Yeah, just go on YouTube Live and then I'll set the tone and we'll just sit like this because sacred space. I love sitting in meditation. So, all right. Okay. Remember that y'all said this when we all these yeses. I like this. So remember that remember that you said yes when I go up here, and then I'm gonna talk about diaphragm breathing, and we're gonna go into this meditation and just sit here like this. Y'all ready? All right.
You said we've been asking for years.
Okay. We have somebody. I saw somebody just type my mom's name. Oh, Latasha Simpson. Hey, Latasha, I actually saw you on the community app, and I was going to tell you we had the same name. Yeah, so I have some recorded meditations that I did along with my music, with the guitar played by my guitar player and songwriting partner, Joel Cross, who I love and adore. And so we did some things. It's experiment, but the truth is, I was trying to keep going. Like, you see a lot of people on social media like, well, we're in the house, but we're going to keep going. And I actually admire that, but it's not where I've been. And so, but I was trying to keep going. And so I went into my studio, which I'm actually pointing this way because my little studio is right here. I went into my studio and I was trying to sing and keep going, but I didn't feel it. And so I felt, let's just record a guided meditation. And so I started recording them. So I'm gonna share them with you, and then we gonna come on YouTube Live one day and just meditate. I love doing guided meditations. I love it. So soon, remember that y'all said all these yeses when we get ready to do it. Have on your comfortable clothes and have your chair where your feet can be flat on the ground, your back can be straight, and your arms can be rested. You see how I'm in a perfectly architected chair? This is one of my meditation chairs. So we'll do that. Actually, let me check my phone because Denise was texting me a couple things. Let me see what you're talking about, Denise. Oh, some messages. Hi, Mom. Oh, so Denise is sending me some comments. Oh, somebody asked me Washcoop asked how I remain so humble, solemn in spirit, and peaceful with so much dysfunction going on in life and in the world. I would actually like to answer that because people ask me iterations of this question a lot. Like they ask iterations of that question, how you remain humble and peaceful? And the truth is, I don't. I have all my angst and stuff like everybody else. But what prayer and meditation have taught me is how to come back to the middle. Did I just say that? Yes, I said that. I said that. But my spiritual practices, my spiritual life, making that the center of my life has helped me to come back into balance. I don't stay, because balance is an active thing, right? You're always adjusting to stay in balance. And so that's what I do. And then I have my whole times where I go completely off the rails. I mean, I don't go crazy, not like wandering the streets or anything, but I'll just be like, nobody talk to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk. I don't want nothing. And so I have 2 alter egos. One is called Nonchalant, and she's the one who'll be like, everybody can shut up now. Like, and my friends, all of my friends know that part of me. She's very present in me, and I will go there. And not rare. It's not rare either. It's rare that I go there to 100, but I'm always just coming back to balance. But also, I think part of the peace that you feel coming from me with this quarantine thing is because I spent a lot of time in my own self-imposed quarantine because it's where I find peace. I've overdone it in the past, but also I'm okay with this. I just want I want everybody to be okay. And if staying in the house is the right thing to do, I'm pleased to do it, but also I'm at peace to do it. So for a while, just last night, my mother sent me some old photos, and then I started looking at old performance videos, and I just was like, oh, wait a minute, I missed that. So I'm starting to kind of miss it, but I'm cool with where I am too. So, oh yeah. Oh, I would love to answer this. So people keep asking about this necklace. This is the one you're asking about in particular, right? Because anytime I have it on in any of my pictures, people always ask. This is a Herkimer diamond. They're called Herkimer diamonds because of the way that they're naturally included. And they come from Herkimer, New York. It's the only place that they're mined. And this one is called a Hamsa, which is a Middle Eastern cultural tradition. And this one's from Bali. And I spent a lot of time in the Middle East. I learned how to sing in Hebrew. Those of you who know me very well know that I have an album that I did not release that was in Hebrew and English. And so I started collecting Hamsas when I started going to the Middle East. And so I've been to Israel and Turkey. And it's just a very, very common iconography. You see them on people's doors, you see them on t-shirts, kids' t-shirts, you just see Hamsas everywhere. And they're called different things in different regions, but this is my favorite one, again, from Bali. And this is my Herkimer diamond. But also I have to tell y'all, I'm a jewelry collector and a jewelry maker. So I have lots of things like this. So yes, the album, that unreleased one, was called Open Door. Yeah, so.
India, Catrice Hagan is asking about your podcast, and she says she loves it so much and she wants to know when you're going to do more.
My podcast. Thank you for loving it. So for those of you who don't know, my podcast is called Songversation, the podcast, where I choose one of my songs and I riff on that song. Simple as that. Also, I put a short podcast up on my Instagram page. So if you go, you'll see it. I put it there on purpose so that I could, so that people just scrolling through could see that part of me. I actually have 4 in the can. So we'll see. I want to get through this short film release so that I can put some more of these podcasts out. But I am doing more. And actually, one of them has a guided meditation at the end. So soon. What else y'all got?
Somebody was asking earlier about the essential oils that you use and how you use them.
I'm looking at my friend Tahir's question. I'm going to come back to that, Tahir. I'm never satisfied, but we'll come back to that. He asked if I was satisfied with the rollout of my album and the singles and stuff. Yes and no, but I'll come back to that. So essential oils, I'm going to try to say this as succinctly as I can because we should just have a whole other conversation about essential oils. But there are 3 main ways you can apply oils. Aromatically, which it helps to affect your mood and your brain. Topically, which, skin, topically, you can put it in oils, massage for your muscles, muscle aches, rashes, healing of acne, cuts, scrapes, topically, things like that. And then also with very great care and with the right oils and education, you can take them internally. And I do all of that. And I am a VIP advocate with a company called doTERRA. And they send me oils each month, and I always have more that I want. Also, the thing that I think is really important to know about essential oils just right now is that essential oils are naturally antibacterial. And so for anybody looking to make their own hand sanitizer or to sanitize your countertops or your bathrooms, whatever, essential oils are used for home cleaning. And they also can be used to sanitize your hands. You can also put them on your feet for the reflexology points, all kind of stuff. And so there's an oil with doTERRA called On Guard. It's an oil blend. So a lot of people in the oil community are using On Guard on their hands right now as we're all sanitizing our hands a lot. So a lot more to talk about the oils, but that's it basically. And I have to say, there's a essential oil of rosemary. Got me through my tour, 2013 and my 2019 tours. Really got me through because, I'm going to stop after this, but just check this out as an example. Rosemary is good for fatigue, which when you're on tour, you're always tired. I'm not even going to outline it for you. In fact, anybody who wants to hear about touring, you can listen to my podcast. I did a Worthy Tour podcast, and you can just hear how it really is. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so you're always tired. Rosemary helps with fatigue, just the aromatic application. You smell it and breathe it in deeply. It helps with fatigue. It helps with memory. It helps with your lungs and your bronchioles, which all singers need. It helps you to open your bronchioles. And so something that helps with memory, fatigue, and the voice and the chest is perfect for someone like me. And then it's funny because once I get home, I don't even really use it as much. Sometimes I use it in the shower because it's considered an energetic cleaner too. But that's a whole nother conversation. And so, yes, and I think I'm going to stop after this for real. I told you about the going into meditation, taking off the orange and putting on the white so that I could pull myself together after the frustration of getting on here. I also put on some lavender because it just helps to calm the nerves. And I was really frustrated so that's actually a perfect example of me using all my tools. Meditated, put on my white, put on some lavender. So it's how I manage myself. Yes, there's a book that I love called Essentials. Let me look that up. Anasa, do you have the book?
It's called, let me look up the title. It's called Oil Essentials. Isn't it called Essentials?
It's something Essentials. Let's get the name right, because I was about to say Essentials too. Reading some of these.
You know who would know is Medians would know. That's what we need to call. It's called, is it Modern Essentials? Is that
Yes. My favorite essential oil book is called Modern Essentials.
Here, I'll put the link in the chat for that.
Oh my gosh, you're really moderating this chat.
Well, people are asking.
Anasa's gonna put the link in the chat.
I'm also gonna put the link for your podcast.
Somebody asked if my mom is near me. She's not. We live in different states. But she's always near me. Hi, Mom.
Oh, that's right. Here we go. Okay, I just put the book, and now here comes the link to the podcast.
Okay. Anasa for the win. Hi, Liam. Hi, Donald. Hi, Donita. My people. I love these comments. To everyone who's saying thank you, you're welcome, and thank you. I could talk about this for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to make this short as I can. The music industry journey for me has been hard. And if it wasn't what I felt like I had to do to get my music out, I would not have done it. But when people say things like, I have your song lyrics in my prayer room, or I played it for my mom while she was in the hospital, or I knew a little friend who lost all her hair and she loved your song, or thank you, just thank you. When people just say thank you to me, it reminds me that it's been worth it. Because what I really wanted to do was be a part of people's lives. I did not want to be famous. I mean, I wanted to make money at it, but being rich wasn't my goal. I wanted to help contribute to my family because my mother was our sole breadwinner and she just worked like a dog. And I was about 23 and I just thought, my turn to contribute. But I wanted to just touch people. So every time somebody gives me a real, true, heartfelt thank you, it's heartfelt from me too. Because without them thank yous, I might just go live in Hawaii and call it a day. But I'm still out here. Yes, what'd you say? What'd you say, Nasa?
That's not just laughing at you talking about moving to Hawaii.
Oh, child. It's been circling for years. Let me see this comment right here. Oh. Ooh, I'm going to read this comment because I'm reading this comment just because I am committed to being real. I don't know if I'm going to answer you, but I have to say this. Someone said, and I know that a lot of women are asking this question of themselves because I've been asking too. Are you looking at the same one?
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you think that the type of men you portray in your videos actually exist in real life? I don't think these men actually exist. Oh, goodness. I'm not pausing because I'm afraid to answer. I'm pausing because the answer is long. And I feel like this is a whole nother live chat because I would love to discuss my feelings around this whole thing. I would love to. Anasa knows I've been on a journey this last year and a half with this. I think that music and movies and things like that are symbolic. And so that's why I feel I feel in some cases it can be an actual danger to take things literally. What I think with my music is that people should take the emotion from it and use it as a part of your life. If there's anything I say that you agree with, then incorporate that into your life. But nobody can tell the whole story of who they are in their frustrated days and their angry days and their nonchalant days. Nobody can tell their whole story. I tell the story that I felt would be empowering to people. And so going back to your question, I think with movies and visuals and stuff like that, that we've been taught a thing about relationships and about how men and about how things work and love, marriage, baby carriage and all that stuff. But what we know is that life is diverse and there are all kind of people who have all kind of experiences and all kind of journeys. And I too have had that thing where I thought, well, it's going to just work like that. I'll meet someone that I want to be with and then we'll have a baby and it'll be natural and that's what we're going to do and we'll be together and blah, 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 blah. And now at this point in my life, I'm looking up and realizing my life has been much different than the one that I imagined I would have when I was 20. And now that I'm finally, and I mean finally, because literally from the age of 12, I had a fantasy about who my partner would be and what my children and stuff would be like. I didn't even know it was a fantasy to me. It was like the sky is blue. People meet someone, you get married, you have children. That's what I thought. And just last year, speaking of meditation, I stood up out of meditation and I literally stood up. I was in meditation. I stood up and I had an epiphany. And I was like, wait a minute, it didn't happen. I've been in different relationships, not a whole lot of long-term ones, but a few long-term relationships and then some other shorter ones and, different types of relationships I've been in. I'm in my early 40s, so I've been through a lot of different things. And I stood up out of meditation and realized that that dream, that vision, that it's a given, didn't happen. And I started asking myself why, and if there were any men that I would want to be with that existed, and all these questions. And so to come back to your question, I don't know if they really exist. I do know that I know some good men. I know some men that are not good. I've been with a good man. One. Just being real. And then the other ones, I think they were trying. But also, when I think about these videos and when we're talking about art and looking at things symbolically and not literally, I mean, yeah, I think there are men who love their women and who do yoga, for example. You know what I mean? And I know some of them. Just haven't found my exact match. And maybe it wasn't time. But whole other conversation. What I started doing just in this last year, as a person who was waiting for her husband since she was 12, what I started doing just this last year is instead of praying for the right person or any of that, I started praying to be at peace with exactly where I am. Because I think for me, and I've seen it in my friends, my girlfriends as well, a lot of times we're so open for the right love that somebody comes along and we jump in and they're not right. And then it's hard to jump out because you want it to be right and you think you can make it right. And what I am learning is to be more discerning and to be able to say, you know what, this is not what I want, and be able to walk away sooner when it's not looking right or whatever. And so I've been praying to be at peace with wherever I am. And it's been working. This is, I think, the first year of my life where I haven't had a lot of angst around where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? This is the first year. And I feel better about it than I ever have. And so we'll see. But I'm also at peace with exactly who I am and what my life has been like. The waiting was hard to accept, and the expectation was hard to manage. But now that I'm not waiting or expecting and just open, I feel a lot better. And so I don't know when you say, do men like this exist? I don't know what you see when you watch this video, but I know that the symbolism is these are men who are respectful of a woman, basically speaking. And of course, yeah, it exists, but a lot of us are also looking for the right match, me included. So you're not alone. Don't feel bad. That was not a short answer, but I had to say it. And that's not even the full answer, but there we go. Ooh, somebody said, as soon as I stopped anticipating my husband, I met him. I've heard that a lot. I think there's something about, I don't know if I think this is actually true, but I know there's a theory out there, a spiritual theory, that you get more of what you focus on, or what you focus on grows, like they say. So if you focus on the wanting, you get more wanting, they say. And so I think that's what people mean when they say, as soon as you stop looking, you find it, because then you're focused on living and not the wanting. And I was focused on the wanting for a long time, but I'm not saying I haven't been in love. I have a few times, but just never like that long-term, lifelong thing. But I'm open, but I'm also at peace, right, with where I am. I've never been able to say that in my life. So it feels good to say it. What else y'all got? What else we got, Nas? Is it time to get off? Dang, it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes. Is it time to get off of here now?
I think so.
Yeah.
We got a lot more to do. We'll be back.
Oh, man. Yeah, there is a lot more to do. I would love to answer a couple more questions about the video specifically. Anybody have anything they want to ask about the video? Right. Somebody said, don't focus on the lack. That's right. Don't focus on the lack.
Tracy Jones had a question about learning meditation and doing meditation groups. She wants to go to Jamaica with you and 12 people and have a meditation vacation.
Ooh, that's a nice vision. Jamaica and 12 people. Ooh, it'll be by the water, it'll be warm, we can meditate. We're working on something. One of the things I've been hungry for is to be with people in smaller groups, because it's different to be able to talk like this. When you're on stage, it's like there's a certain type of transmission and I come as authentic as I can in that space. There's something else that happens when you're able to be with a small group. So Anasa, who's here moderating, and I have had a vision for a long time, and we're working on bringing it to life. So yeah.
Alan wants to know how long it took for you to do the video from beginning to end.
Woo. Alan, thank you for asking, because thank you for asking about this video, because I need a place to vent. And I've talked about it already, but maybe you weren't here in the beginning. And so I would say that Anasa, who was our moderator, the director, Nandi McLean, and myself started talking about this video third week of December, Anasa?
Yeah.
So we started talking about the storyline and the treatment. And then I went out to LA January 19th. We shot the videos on January 27th and 28th. And then editing happened from January 9th. I'm sorry, editing happened from February 16th to April 25th. February 16th to April 25th. That is a lot. And it was like 10, 12 hours at a time. And there were 3 of us editing. I like jumped in, put my hat. I chose every single shot moment of this video. And then the director also helped me to edit this. And we had another editor named Patrick who helped with the coloring and the effects and the polishing. Then I also had to engage my engineer who helps me with my albums because we had to make a little bit of adjustment to the music. So when the couple goes into the dream and it echoes, we had to do that in the studio. And also Reverend Michael Beckwith, his audio was corrupted from the actual film shoot. So the director went back to his church, Agape, in LA, in the LA area, and he did more talking. I was going to say more preaching, but he gave more messages. And I put that into my Pro Tools and I edited his words as well. February 16th to April 25th. And in fact, that's not even true. We just did the credits, what, day before yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what's today's date? Okay, February 16th to May 10th was the editing. Ugh, I can laugh about it now, but oh my goodness, I've been frustrated a lot these last 2 months. But this moment right here is all worth it. And to see your thoughts and feelings and for people to be receiving Welcome Home. We just named it Welcome Home 3 days ago. Forgot about all this. Yeah, so, wow, 5 months? It has not been 5 months. Ooh.
This is a really good question that Linda's daughter has.
5 months.
She's asking, I wonder how making the video made the men feel that played a part. I thought everything about it was beautiful. You put it really well. So this is a great opportunity for you to talk about kind of the conversations you had with Lyric and David and stuff about the videos and how they felt about them.
Yes. So shout out to all my leading men throughout this whole story arc of videos. Shout out to Lyric Bent, David Banner, Mustafa Shakir. Where to even begin? First of all, I want to tell you that when I was choosing these leading men, I was looking for a certain vibration more than a look. I mean, I wanted them to look grown, to really look like grown men, not skinny models, but like men. And so that's why I asked Lyric if he would show some of his grays and his silvers in his beard for the crazy video. And, you know, I wanted him to look grown because I'm grown. And I wanted us to look right together on screen. And also I'm grown. Just leave it at that. And so, but there was a look, but more so there was a vibration or energy that I just needed to see come through their look. And we spent many, many hours tossing names and links and headshots and just thoughts. How about this? And just thinking about things and just tossing out names. But I knew each leading man when I saw them. It was a little bit different with Lyric because the first video, That Magic, I had never worked with a man on screen at all. And then he came to do the video and I literally was like, oh crap, he's here. So we're gonna like roll in this bed together. I was like, oh crap. But he made it easy and comfortable because he's an actual professional actor and he's a stand-up guy. He's serious about his work and he was a fan of my music, which I found delightful. And he's just a good guy. We've become good friends. I'd never expected to like make a new friend out of Lyric. It just never crossed my mind. I didn't even know he was gonna show up. I sent him a DM. It's so funny because somebody said, you slid into his DMs. And I was like, oh, that is what that is. But it wasn't a slide. I don't slide into DMs. I just go in there and ask stuff. So he's become a good friend. And I actually wanted him to do all the videos, but he was busy. And I'm glad he was busy because it's been nice to also work with David Banner. I called him 3 days before the video because Lyric couldn't come. And he said yes and showed up. And I had no idea we were going to look so great together on screen, that he knew so much about the process. He taught me a lot of things. For example, in our fight scene in Steady Love, he was like, come look at yourself on camera. because I'm always happy when I'm able to do my work and fulfill my visions. And so apparently I had like a light smirk on my face. And we were supposed to be arguing. So I'm like, I'm mad at you. You know, we're arguing and I'm smirking a little bit. And he said, you know, you have a little bit of a smile. So take that off. We're arguing. I was like, oh, I didn't even know. Because, you know, I don't know what I'm looking like. I just know I feel happy inside. And so he also taught me, he said, every scene starts before the director says action. So get in your head, you already in the fight, right? Then she says action and you're in it. So he taught me a lot of stuff like that being on set with him. So that was a joy. And then with Mustafa, I saw his picture maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and I was just like, his vibration was so interesting. Then I never thought I would hire him for anything. But when we were really looking at everyone we could think of, he's who I wanted, and he said yes. And as far as how it makes them feel, I don't really know. Maybe we'll share screen and do a live chat with one or two of them or something. But what I can say is that when we're wrapping these videos, every time it's always been like a real high energy of gratitude. Like they all three of the leading men were all like, thank you so much. Like that feeling. And they have all become friends. And I don't know, but I do know where that question comes from because the way that the men were edited and how they were treated visually and how they were respected on film, we did that on purpose because we respect these men. And I think it's important to respect men in general out loud. We just talked about it. I've had my own very fair share of hard relationships and things with men and stuff. That's because we're all learning and we have our childhoods and our stuff. But I still, even in my music, as you all know, I respect men. And so I think I'm happy to know that that comes across in these videos. I respect them and I'm grateful that they gave me their time. And none of these leading men charged me a dime. They came because I asked. And that's an honor too when somebody just wants to work with you. So hope I answered your question. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What else we got in also? Let me look at Denise's messages. I think it is about time. Let's see. I'm going to just pick one and answer it. Let's see, even though I might be a little bit surprised by the question. Starnice Johnson, how do I, as a 27-year-old woman, find my tribe? Women who encourage each other and women who I can learn from. I don't really know, but I will say this. My opinion about how to find your tribe is by actively doing the things you like to do. Because the people who are your tribe will be there. But that also means that you have to know yourself. What do you really like to do? Not what people generally like to do. You know, in my early 20s, I went to clubs and stuff, but I learned, I was like, I don't actually like this. Like, I don't like it. I don't like loud music. I don't like a lot of popular music, and I don't want to hear it real loud. I don't like being around cigarette smoke. I don't like crowd. Like, there's things I don't like, but I like a small gathering. I like meditation. I like what I like. And so I think social media might even make it easier. I have a whole community of female jewelry makers. That is so specific, but it's true. And they're like my online friends because I'm a female jewelry maker and I love to support other female makers. And so I think it starts by doing the things you like and meeting people in that space. But that starts with you knowing what you like and saying no to doing the stuff you don't like. You don't have to do what everybody else does because there's people everywhere gathering for all kinds of different reasons. But I hear you though, because I have always had a strong need to want to be tribe with people. That sometimes I find myself caught up in friendships that aren't nourishing because I just want to be in tribe. Sometimes people aren't your tribe, and that's okay too. Sometimes your blood relatives aren't your tribe, and that's okay too. But I think it starts by doing the things you love, and that starts by learning what you love. Just my thoughts. Who else? Before I get on up off of here. Okay, it's been an hour and a half. Does it ever happen to you to put out material like a video and already feel like it no longer represents where you are specifically? Thank you for your work and your voice. No, I've never put something out and thought, this is passe for me. It's never happened. It did happen with that Open Door project though, which is why I'm happy that it didn't come out, because it was something that I think I needed to do. I don't think it was something that I needed to release. Maybe someday it'll be heard or whatever, but not in the context of, this is my brand new release. I don't think so. But anything else I've ever done, if anything, I feel so personally attached to it that it comes out and it makes me feel like, oh my God, these people are singing my song. They're singing my song, because I hold it in my own space for so long. And then when I hear other people sing it or talk about it, I always get a little bit territorial, just for a split second. But I mean, I do it because I want to share it. So it lasts a split second, but I do get like, and on occasion, and this happened with the Steady Love video actually, because I didn't know that David Banner and I would have that type of chemistry. Like, it just never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind. I just knew that he said yes, and I was excited. And then we had this chemistry, and the night before the video came out, I was in my kitchen and I stopped, and I think I did something like this, like, this is really gonna come out. What made me think I could do this? What made me think I could do this? And we all up here making out and looking like a couple. I didn't think about it that way, but it wasn't outdated or anything like that. It just felt like, what made me think I could do this? But I think that about a lot of the things I do. Like, what made me think that I could actually grow up and do this? Like, to write songs and make albums and tour and call my heroes. And I do stuff, and then I look back and think, what made me think I could do this? But yes, I got to answer one from Tahir, because it's my boo, my friend Tahir from the Black Media. Oh, he asked, when did I discover I was an empath? This is a deeper question, but I discovered I was an empath about 10 years ago. And I discovered it by reading and talking to people who do spiritual work. Because I would just be like, why do I feel like this? And these people don't seem like they feel like that. Like, why do I feel like when I go into a crowd, I feel like all my energy is drained. I can barely walk into the house, and other people go out the next day. Why? And so I learned about empath, what it means to be empathic. And I learned that it was a thing, and I started learning how to manage it in myself. So I don't do as much gathering and stuff as other people do. But when I do it, I fill up and I go back in into my world. So maybe about 10 years ago. But really, you should just do some reading. There's a lot out there, because a lot of people wonder the same thing. Like, why do I feel like this? A lot of people. And then once you start to learn these terminologies, you see yourself in them. There's another thing people are talking about called HSP, highly sensitive person. I think that I'm that too. My mother told me that I used to, as a baby, say too loud. Like, I could barely talk apparently. And I would say too loud, too loud. And she said that she would look at me like, girl, who do you think you are? Like, because I'm a baby telling people to be quiet, like a baby. And so I think I'm a highly sensitive person. I think that I'm an empath, and I think that I'm an introvert. And I think that all that together, and being an artist, makes me a really sensitive person. And I think that's where my music comes from. So I honor it, but it makes my life a little bit different. But once you start reading about those things, you'll see yourself or not. So, yep.
India, I have a lot of people on here talking about your blossoming as a filmmaker, and asking, have you thought about making films as a director? Because they would love to see your perspective on the big screen.
What I know about the creative process is that it just kind of pulls you along, and you just have to try stuff. And so after doing the amount of work I did with this video, I have started thinking, maybe I want to do this again. Because again, I think that my empathic nature and my highly sensitive nature, I really see people. I see the angles of their face, their best angles. I see like their best makeup, their best hair. Like, I see people. I mean, it's all an opinion too, but I have an opinion and a point of view, a strong one. And I would love to be able to work with capturing someone's best look and best self, and to help someone bring their, vision to film. But it's all a really, really new thought. I do want to edit something else again though, something that's not mine, where I can just practice what it feels like to edit. So yeah, I have been thinking about it. I'm not ready to go sign up for film school or anything like that, but I've definitely been thinking about it, and it's something that I had never thought about in the past at all. I had thought about wanting to be behind the scenes, like working with clothes and makeup and jewelry and image, because I know a lot about that because just my mother. I come from a lineage of seamstresses and very, very stylish women. And so I had thought about that, but that's also a behind the scenes work in the film world. And so I'm really thinking, but also because those of you who follow me on my Instagram, I've been talking for the last several months about feeling like my music dream has reached its fruition. Not that I don't want to keep making music, but that I don't want it to be my main, what's the word? Undiluted focus. I would love it to be a part of my life and to explore other mountains to climb. And so it's nice that this conversation is coming up at this time. And I have some followers that are like my people. So I want to say hi to Keanu. Hi, Keanu. Please send your mom my love. And he asked the significance behind the name Welcome Home. And the significance is that this, again, anybody who's just coming in, these videos are a 4-story arc, starting with that magic where the couple meets, and then steady love, they fall in love, they live together, they fight, they make up, they trying to get pregnant, some of the conventional things about relationships. And then in Crazy, they get married at the beginning of the video. So it's not about marriage being the destination, it's about being the beginning of another part of life, and you see them living their lives. And then you see them having a question. But what you see ultimately at the end of the video is a woman sitting with herself, and the voiceover says, welcome home, and from here you shall not move. And what this woman on this journey has learned is that no matter who's in her life, her journey really is about what she's learning about herself, and that you have to be at home in yourself at its best to have a relationship at its best. I don't know if I said that clearly. Let me try that again. Being at home in yourself is a foundation of a good relationship, I think, because when you're trying to change and squish yourself into someone else's box, that only can last but for so long, and the real you comes out. So start by being the real you. So she's learning about authenticity and about coming home to herself, about learning about what herself is and who she is. So that's why it's called Welcome Home, because at the end, even when you find the love of your life, the end, you're still on a journey with yourself. And so that's why it's called Welcome Home. Ooh, I've been waiting to say that for 5 months. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half. Someone asked how it feels to work on something really hard and not being received the way you want it to. That's happened to me a lot in the music industry. It's just kind of what it is. And it hasn't stopped me from creating yet, so can't control it once you put it out there. I'm excited about how this short film is being received, though. All right, y'all. What else is there to say? I do want to say one more thing about the video. Maybe one more, maybe a couple more things. The clothes in the video came from 2 main places. Speaking of meditation, there's a beautiful meditation studio in Malibu, California, called the Mindry. And one of the owners at the Mindry has a clothing line. And in meditation, it came to me to ask her for some clothes for the video. And I did. Her name is Jen. She was super excited about giving me anything I wanted. And so like the lace wedding gown, the mango colored dress, and she gave me a second dress to cut up and make the wrap with the orange dress. The pink dress that I'm in the hammock with Lyric in. All that stuff came from her, and her company is called Pirate Booty. Pirate Booty, Booty, Jen's Pirate Booty. So, and the website is insane. It's like so many flowy, beautiful dresses. It's crazy. Jumpsuits. And so shout out to Jen. Of course, my mother made some of the stuff, that white dress with just all the strips and rips and stuff that's in Sacred Space. My mother made that. Then there was another company. I wonder, Jolene, if you're still on, who's the company that made Lyric's denim jacket? Can't remember what they're called right now. Studio 129? Might be making that up. But super, super shout out to Jen's Pirate Booty, because those dresses, it was like they blended with the story. The wedding dress, I couldn't have asked for anything better because I love the clothes my mother makes for me, of course. But and in addition to my mother making stuff for the video, I just needed something else that was as as aligned and specific with the video as the environment we shot the video in as well, which also that was grounds. I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? A compound in Topanga Canyon. It used to be owned by Neil Young, the singer-songwriter Neil Young. It's now owned by a man named Jeff Krasno. Did I say that right, Anasa? Krasno.
You did, Krasno.
I call him Kranzel all the time. Jeff Krasno owns the commune up in Topanga Canyon. And so the yoga studio, that beautiful stained glass window, the hardwood floors, the A-frame building where Lyric was painting, the hammock, that cliff that overlooked the mountains, all that is the commune in Topanga Canyon. So thank you to Jeff Krasno, who is the sweetest guy. So thank you to Jeff, and thank you Mustafa, Lyric, Glam Squad, Jolene, Mom, Jason, Nikki, Zara, Anasa. Thank you, Anasa. Yeah, so Jen's Pirate Booty. I'm telling you, if you like flowy dresses, go check out Jen's Pirate Booty. It's insane. Huh?
I put the link for Jen in the chat.
Oh, good. What else is there to say, y'all? Oh, so funny. Now I'm getting some questions about the video. Someone asked about the hand gestures. So I worked with a yoga coach to just make sure I looked right on camera doing yoga. I've never seen myself do yoga on camera all the years I've been doing it. And it's funny because, again, I told you I have a couple alter egos. So I told you one is named Nonchalant, one is named Naive, and then there's just me, India. And Nonchalant is like cut and dry. And so I told the yoga coach, listen, do not mince words with me. You don't have to take care of my feelings. You don't have to say it nice. I want to make sure I look good on camera. And so I said, I don't care if you say, you look fat, whatever you got to say. Hold your arm down, suck your stomach in, hold it. Well, I said, I don't care if you yell it out in front of everybody. And she was like, okay. And her name is Callie, and she is the most fierce, gentle, sweet spirit. Like, I love working with Callie. And so she helped make sure I look good. And so one of Callie's practices is using mudras. There are an Eastern practice of spiritual hand gestures that mean different things. And I wish I could talk better about this. Maybe I need to study up on it. But I think it also activates certain pressure points. And they're also just the ancient Eastern practice. I don't exactly know everything about what it means. Not exactly. But I've seen people use mudras my whole adult life. You see them a lot in yoga communities and stuff. And so that's the element that Callie brought to the shoot, because she was also very intuitive, and she saw, again, which is why I'm interested in getting into film, perhaps, because she could see my nature. And everyone who ever seen me perform, all my friends know I use my hands, and my hands are big and very expressive. And so she pointed that out and said, you would look wonderful doing mudras. And so that's where these things come from ancient Eastern practices, and they came to me through my yoga coach, Callie. What else y'all got? Yeah. Oh gosh, did I just sing that? Now I'm getting tired. It's time to go. I'm getting too loose. Please address the clarity change from crazy to sacred space. Sacred space is cloudy-ish. That's true. It's cloudy for a couple reasons. One, I wanted it to look distinct from crazy. I also wanted it to look like a dream. And also there are many layers of special effects on it because I wanted everything to glow. If you look at the Sacred Space video really closely, you'll even see like there's light that comes off of people's faces, and the whites are like a light bulb is turned on in everything that's white. I just wanted it to look surreal. Cloudy was not my goal. Someone on my team said it looked blurry. It doesn't look blurry to me. I hope it doesn't to y'all, but that cloudy-ishness is because Sacred Space, you can interpret it a couple ways, but lots of other ways too. I'd love to hear your interpretation. But in Sacred Space, it's a woman who is in a dream. But also, which we haven't talked about yet, which is might as well go ahead and say now, I'm going to end up breaking this short film into 2 smaller videos for regular everyday consumption. And because like the one that they will play on TV will be Crazy by itself. And so when you see Crazy by itself and Sacred Space by itself, at the beginning of Sacred Space, you see a woman go into meditation, and everything that happens inside of Sacred Space, she's in meditation. And so I wanted it to look like a different world. And so I hope it's not blurry, but that cloudyish, smoky, foggy, all that light and all the stuff and the glowing and all that was my intention. And I worked on that for months and months and months and months and months and months. And I'm proud of where we ended up. So, oh, somebody said it looks blurry in some snippets. Yeah, it is what it is. And also some of the things that I chose for the edit, some of it was blurry, but I was like, he looks best right here. This is how I want to see his face. So it's going to be blurry. I love everything about it. And that's hard for me to say because I never love everything about anything I do. Rarely. But I love everything about this. So anything else, y'all? Go back and watch the video for the 100th time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anasa, it's out. Woo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for watching and for loving this. It's so funny too, because I kind of thought I wasn't going to be able to get away from this live without singing. I'm not sure I'm going to do it or not, but I might give it. Let me give myself a thought. Let me just tell a second, because actually my guitar is right here and I have not been singing. I haven't been playing, but I put it here because I thought maybe. If I start, so since I've been telling all my other business, I'm going to tell you this too. Over this last several months, whenever I start trying to sing to myself, I start crying. I'm not sure why. I think it has something to do with being tired. It has something to do with ready for my life to change. And it has something to do with just processing all of the collective emotion. And so whenever I sing to myself or when I sing a cappella, every time it makes me just tear up. My favorite, one of my top 3 contemporary male singer-songwriters, his name is David Ryan Harris. Write that name down. David Ryan Harris. And I was chatting with him via text the other day, and he has a wonderful way with words inside of music and out. He actually wrote the songs Life I Know, the song One, and Break the Shell together. And he said, there's no shorter path between myself and my tears than my voice. And that's how it's been for me these last 2-3 months. And so I might sing, I haven't decided yet, but if I start breaking out in tears, I'm stopping, if I do sing. So we'll see. I'm not saying anything else.
I don't think so. We'll be back.
We'll be back. Let me look at Denise's notes.
Give them the Working Well hashtag to look out for that because we'll be posting a whole bunch of content over the next few weeks.
Ah, yes. Anasa just told me to remind you all we have a new hashtag. That is Worthy and Well, because you all know I have an album called Worthy. And also I'm ready to share much more about my wellness practices and even the things that I teach. And so we have a hashtag that is, say it again, Worthy and Well. Worthy, I'm thinking the wellness of we. So we have a new hashtag, Worthy and Well. So look out for that hashtag. I'll be putting stuff under there. Worthy and Well, yeah. I'm gonna give this a try. No promises. Let me see if I feel like singing. Let's see how this goes. Just joking. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you to everybody who stayed this long and wanted to hear me talk about these things. This is always the song that's always at the top of my heart. I don't listen to my own music, but there are 3 songs of mine that I listen to. But the one I listen to kind of almost every day is I Am Light. So let's see what happens. This is crazy. Here we go. Nasa, can you hear guitar?
Yeah.
That feels good, actually. Anasa, will you mute your phone? Oh, matter of fact, I need. Okay. I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside. All light. All light. I am divine. Woo, woo. That trapped it on me. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.